welcome back to my channel. The festive season is upon us and I'm so excited. I wanted to kick off the season by doing this look right here, which is perfect for beginners. It's a wearable look, so even if you're not a beginner, you can wear this. I have so many tips and tricks and hacks packed into this video for you guys that I don't want to elongate this intro any longer. So yes, if you want to know how you can get this look, or if you want to know how you can get this my skin with better base, then please keep on watching. Alright, don't mind the current state of my hair. By the end of this video, hopefully it will be cuter and I would be cuter overall as well. I'm going to start off by prepping my face because I feel like face prep is supremely important and we still tend to skip on it. And I'm using the Indulgeo Essentials Rose Gold Oil. I really like this oil. It's a very beautiful base for makeup and it also gives your skin a really nice glow. So I'm just going to take about half a pump of that oil and I'm going to be warming it up between my palms first, and then I'm just going to press it into my skin. Just press it gently. You don't want to just like vigorously massage it. Just press it down so that your skin is nice and prepped, and you do want to give your skin a break of about 30 seconds before you go in with your foundation because you want this oil to be completely absorbed by your skin. I'm also going to prep up my lips because my lips are pretty dry right now, and because we are transitioning into fall or for fall here in Delhi, and then into winters my lips generally tend to die out. I'm using the Innisfree Canola Honey Lip Balm. This is what it looks like, and I am just going to be smothering it all over my lips. And this feeling is literally the best feeling in the world. I don't need to prime my skin because I've already applied the facial oil and it acts like a primer. But if you have open pores and you want to apply a pore minimizer, you can definitely go ahead and do that. For foundation, I'm actually going to be using the Nykaa SkinShield today. I'm not really sure of my shade currently because I am transitioning as well. So I have the shade 010 Golden Hour with me right here. Then we have the shade 08 Pure Olive, which I think should be my shade, and then we have 09 Desert Honey. So I'm gonna just quickly try all of these out and see which ones. I think this is gonna be fine. Let's just go ahead with this. So I'm just going to be applying a very little amount all over my face. I'm not going overboard at all. I don't want a full coverage beat today. We're going for more natural and dewy look. And for blender, I'm using this Blue Heaven sponge. I used the other color the other day and I really liked it. So I'm just trying it out more before I am able to review it for you guys. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that oil again. I'm going to shake it up so I get as many gold flakes as I can. And I'm just going to drop a couple of drops on top of where I've just put in my foundation. I'm not applying a lot of this oil. Again, if you have oily skin and you feel like this is going to be a little too much for you, you can totally skip this step. For me, this just works really well. And I'm going to start blending this out. I'm going to start from the centers of my face because that's where you want most of your coverage, and then work the coverage out. When you do this, you end up with non-cakey looking makeup. If you have a lot of foundation on the edges of your face, it looks like you're wearing makeup. Like, of course, you want to let the world know that you're wearing makeup. That's what you've been doing for the last 2 or 3 hours maybe, or maybe you just enjoy the whole process. But if you want your foundation to not look cakey, then don't apply it over here. Just apply whatever you have here and work it outwards. That's one of the best tips that I can give you for your base looking really nice and natural. The face pretty much looks evened out and that's what I've been wanting. I'm just going to conceal and highlight a little bit, not a lot. I'm using the PAC Spotlight Liquid Concealer. This is the shade 02. I feel like this might be slightly too highlighty for me because I can't find my actual shade, which is 03. So I'm just using this. And I'm just going to be applying it, really concentrating it on the spots where I want to highlight. I don't want to conceal a lot of things, so I'm just highlighting to bring in some dimension back to my face and not make it look as flat. And I'm just going to start blending this out as well. And this concealer is full coverage. Now again, another tip that I would like to give to you guys, even if you're a beginner, is that invest in products that are more coverage wise higher, like what am I saying, a higher coverage wise, because you can always shear down coverages, but it's very difficult to build up something to make it look supremely full coverage. So go for a foundation that has more medium to buildable full coverage. Go for concealers which are more full coverage. It would help you in having different options of wearing makeup. Next up we have powder. Now this is going to be very subjective. For me, I use very tiny amount of powder, but you can be wanting to use the entire tub. It's completely your choice. I like to use Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. It's a beautiful powder. I'm almost about to run out of it, so I'm just going to shake up a little bit so that I have a very tiny amount, and then I'm just going to take my sponge and I'm going to dip it very lightly and making sure I dust off the excess, and then I'm just going to press it wherever I have applied my concealer under my eyes as well as around my mouth. I do not set the whole of my face. That also gives my face a nice dewy finish. I've seen that whenever I powder the whole of my face, I end up looking very powdery and very matte, and that's not the type of look that I personally prefer. Of course, you could be a matte face lover. It's just that my personal preference does not, pull me in that particular direction. The only reason that I powder even these areas is because I don't want to crease on these particular areas, and because we naturally tend to have lines and creases here, your foundation or your concealer tends to bunch up there. Powder just delays that process. I'm also going to powder a little bit on my nose because my makeup on the nose tends to slip and slide away like no one's business. So I'm just going to ensure that that is delayed by a little amount. Next up comes the bronzer. Now bronzer just adds back again a lot of dimension and depth to your face. It makes your skin look sun-kissed and it just makes it look healthy. I've been talking about the NYX matte bronzer since the beginning of time. I'm not even kidding you. I really like this bronzer. I like the shade and everything. This is the shade medium, so just complements my skin so beautifully. I'm just gonna take this brush, and it's a nice fluffy brush with a bit of a dome on top. This is the Morphe X Jeffree Star brush. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that bronzer, not a lot, and I'm dusting off the excess. Always dust off the excess, because if you have a lot of product on your brush and you apply it directly onto your skin like that, it will get clung onto one area, especially if you've not set the whole of your face like I have. So dusting off really helps in that. And then with a very light hand, and by the meaning of very light hand, you don't apply a lot of pressure, you just holding the brush from very afar so that you don't have a lot of pressure as well. Just hold the brush from afar and just touch your skin gently and go in circular strokes like this, just to make sure your skin looks nice and bronzy. And you want to go in the area of the hollow of your cheekbone. Now these are your cheekbone, which are the highest points of your face, but if you want to figure out where your hollows are, just make a fishy face, which is like that, and then go in that area and go very very gently. This would instantly also make your face look very chiseled. So if you see there's a little bit of difference, I've not contoured like an Instagram baddie or anything, but you would still be able to see a difference in this area. Just looks more natural. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit and hit it on the temples. Now I do not have a huge forehead. I don't need to bronze my forehead particularly, but I like to do it because it just makes the whole look tied up. And then I'm also going to do on my jawline to just get rid of my double chin, as well as just make my jawline look sharper than what it is. Now comes the blush. I think a blush and a lipstick has been an Indian favorite since years and years and years. A lot of people just apply their lipstick as the blush, and that's a great thing. For me personally, creme products on top of powder does not really work that well, so I love my powders when it comes to contouring, highlighting and blushing. I'm going to be using the NYX Sweet Cheeks palette today. This is a great palette if you're a beginner, because you get so many color varieties and it's affordable for the amount that you're getting, and you can also play with so many different shades of blushes. Now I have stopped seeing sense in a contour palette because you tend to use only 1 or 2 shades out of the 8 or the 10 shades that are available, but for blushes, and especially with such a nice variety, you can wear different one every single day. Today I'm going to be wearing a mix of this as well as this, because I feel peach on Indian skin tone just looks gorgeous. It looks so beautiful. So I'm just going to be applying this, dusting off the excess as well, again smiling, and you want to apply this to the apples of your cheeks. The apples of your cheeks are the chubbiest part of your cheek. For me, it's going to be right here. So I'm just going to be applying it right here again with very light strokes, and just going in circular motions and pushing it backwards and mixing it into the bronzer that I've applied earlier. So we're just going to be doing that. Now NYX is a great brand if you want great value for money with the products. Of course they have some duds, they have a lot of duds here and there, but mostly their products tend to work really well for me. So I'm just going to be smiling and applying. Now when it comes to highlighters, I think Wet n Wild has been killing it, killing the whole market. I'm using their Megaglo highlighting powder in the shade Precious Petals, which is one of their best sellers. And what I've been doing and loving is using a fluffy eyeshadow brush. You can call it a blender brush or anything, and using this for highlighting. So I'm just going to be picking up this shade with this brush, dusting off the excess, smiling again, placing it on my cheekbones and applying it right here. This gives me a lot more precision when I'm applying my highlighter, so that it doesn't go every single where, especially if you're a beginner and highlighter intimidates you and you're just like, you know, I don't know how to put it, or I don't know how to go about it, then get an eyeshadow blender brush. It would be much easier for you. You can also do this if you're not supremely fond of the strobe look and you just want a glowing from within sort of a look. And when it comes to the points that you're supposed to apply it, you highlight all of the highest points of your face. So turn your face around, and whatever you feel is higher on your face, like when you plane it out, like your nose, it's risen, like it's not on the surface of your face. Your cupid's bow, it's slightly higher. The bridge, it's higher. The cheekbones are higher. You highlight all of those areas, or you highlight the areas that you want to bring out. For example, you highlight your inner corners because you want your eyes to be highlighted and to be, boom, out there. So you get what highlighting is. You're just bringing out those features more. So we're just highlighting our face and ensuring that all of the areas that should be prominent are prominent. Now the last step in the base makeup is going to be a setting spray. What this will do is it would melt everything down. So if you have excess of any blush or any other powder, it will melt it down, it will sober it down. So if you have gone overboard, don't worry, you can always correct it with this step. This is one of my favorite steps probably. So I'm going to be using my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. This is the rose variant. As you can see, I've finished up a lot of that. So I'm just going to be keeping it far from my face. You want to keep it a minimum of 6 inches away from your face. And when you're spraying it, you want to spray it down like that so that you cover whole of your face and you don't get any blotches, like you're not doing stuff like that. So you just want to do that basically. Now post this, you have a couple of options. Either you can let this dry by itself, or you can fan this in your skin with your hands or with a fan, or you can take your sponge and then with a very light hand, like you don't want to push it in, you just want to go over like that. If you've gone overboard with your powders, then this is the best option. Why I like to do this personally is because this just helps me make everything look so meshed in together, and it makes my skin look so much more better than when I'm just fanning it in. So this is what the skin looks like. I really like how it looks. It looks very natural, very light. Let's bring you in closer and let's start with the eyes now. Okay, we are closer and we can get started with the eyes. I'm going to do the dreaded eyebrows first. So I'm going to be using the NYX Precision Eyebrow Pencil. This is in the shade Espresso. Now, if you go according to the rules of makeup, if you have darker hair, you should ideally use a pencil that is a couple of shades lighter to your hair. And if you have lighter hair, you should use a pencil that is a couple of shades darker than your hair. Because what I like to do is I take my pencil, whatever pomade, whatever crayon it is, and I like to draw a line right under where I would want my eyebrows to actually be. And then I like to draw one above just to get an idea of where all I need to fill in. This would just give you a rough map, a rough guide of what your eyebrow would look like once it's done. And then you want to go in the growth, like in the direction of the growth of the hair. That was a mouthful. By that what I mean is, as you can see, my hair is growing like this from here. So I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm going to make small strokes to mimic the growth in that direction. So it looks like it's my eyebrow hair and not a pencil. So we're just going to do that. And here you can see my hair are growing vertically. So I'm just going to go in flicking strokes like this. So we're just doing that. If you're a beginner, I would suggest you invest in a pencil first, because it's easier to do and it's quicker to do than a pomade or a powder. And that is it. Now this also has a spoolie on the bottom part of it. If you don't have a spoolie in your pencil, invest in a spoolie, because it would help in brushing the product out, so that if you have excess product, like if you have a lot of product in one area, you can just brush it out and just make sure your brows look natural. Now I've done a very natural brow. It doesn't even look like it's properly filled in or anything. It looks like I was born with these brows, or maybe I got them microbladed, but definitely not filled in. Another reason why I suggested a blush palette like this is because you can use these as eyeshadows, especially if you're a beginner and you don't know what works for you and you're still figuring it out. This just really helps because it has different shades. You can see, you can work on your techniques and then invest in better products as well. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to pick up that same orangey blush that we used earlier, but this time singularly, and I'm using this Wet n Wild P20 brush, which is a nice blender brush. I have a whole video on eye makeup brushes if you want to check that out. Again, dust off the excess, just dust it off, and I'm gonna go in my crease. Your crease is the line which comes when you push a brush in, or when you look forward, the area that folds, that's your crease. If you have hooded lids, you won't be able to properly see it, but if you have non-hooded lids, then you will be able to make it out very clearly actually. So I'm just gonna be applying this orange in my crease as my transitional shade, and I'm going to be blending it out. As you can see, it works beautifully as an eyeshadow as well. So I'm just ensuring it's nicely blended, and because it's a blush, it's slightly easier to blend than a generic normal pigmented eyeshadow these days. We are getting like pure pigments these days, which takes so much of hard work and so much of practice to perfect. So working with blushes like these just looks and feels so much easier. I'm not even kidding you, it does. I'm just gonna deepen things up a little bit, I'm just using the same brush. I'm gonna pick up this Vine blush from right here with a very light hand, and I'm just gonna apply it again in my crease, but keeping it lower than the orange. So I am blending it into the orange so that the orange looks like an ombre, but I'm not taking it all the way up, like I'm not smoking it all the way up. And I'm also concentrating it more on my outer corners by just circling my brush there more and then bringing whatever's left inside. Next up, I'm going to use God's favorite eye brushes, your fingers. I'm going to pick up this gold shade right here, and I'm going to place it all over my eyelid. You see how pigmented it comes out with your fingers? That's because your fingers have natural oils on them, and they're also warm. Anything warm will make any makeup product A, more easy to work with, and B, because your fingers have those natural oils, it would make it look more pigmented. So I'm just applying it on my eyelids, and then with the brush that we've done our crease, I'm just ensuring it's nicely blended in with my crease, just to ensure it's all smooth and nice and transitioned. Now I'm gonna go back into Precious Petals, and I'm gonna take a smaller brush this time. I'm gonna pick up the highlight. I'm gonna place it in my inner corners just to ensure my eyes look bigger. This would make your eyes look bigger, as I've just said, but if you already have big eyes and you don't want them to look bigger, skip this step. I'm also gonna apply it right under the highest point of my brow. This would help in my eyebrows looking more arched, in my brow bone structure to look more pronounced than it already is. As a general law of thing, you should be balancing your upper and your lower eye, otherwise one part of the eye tends to look heavier. So with whatever's remaining on my blending brush, I'm just gonna run it down on my bottom lash line. So generally in this case, I'm really sloppy because I like a nice smoky lash line. I'm not particularly very meticulous when I'm doing this, but if you want to have like a nice sharper lower lash line, you can definitely do that. You can also put in kajal. I am not the biggest fan of kajal on my eyes now. Like, that was 2009 Shreya. We don't know her any longer. And at this point, it's also a good time to see if everything's blended or something needs a quick little blend. You can just go over everything and make sure that everything looks nice and seamless and just meshed in a harmonious look is coming about. That's what you want to ensure. A harmony is being created here. Now we have mascara. I'm using the Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara. Now this is ridiculously expensive. There are a lot of inexpensive, amazing mascaras available. Maybelline is amazing. L'Oreal, the pink one is so good. So you can go for a lot of different mascaras. It's just that my time on this one is running out and I don't want to waste an expensive mascara, and that's why I'm using this. Now mascara is generally something that is very, very tricky. It looks very easy, but it's very tricky because you can get it everywhere, and it happens with the proest of pro makeup artists. So my simplest trick to do mascara without messing it up is not talking, being very confident and letting the mascara know who's the boss here and who wears the pants. So all you want to do is put it at the base of your eye, so you're really close to your tight line, and then you want to wiggle it up. So you just want to go in these strokes, and you want to go inside. Also one like this really helps, which is conical. So when you're going inside, the part is thinner there, so it just really helps in coating the mascara on the innermost lashes without messing up with the masterpiece that you've just created. And when it comes to the lower lash line, the trick is simple. When you're pulling out your wand, just clear off the excess from the tube and then make the weirdest of faces like that. And you want to be able to give your eye that space and just go onto your lower lashes and barely touch the wand onto the lashes to ensure that you don't get any transferage on your lower lash line. Now the next step is completely optional. It's just that I really prefer doing this. I'm going to be applying falsies. These are the Huda Beauty X Kahlana lashes. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I might be wrong. Please let me know how you pronounce her name. Now these lashes in particular are very nice and wispy, and they're very easy to put on, as well as they do not budge or irritate your eyes a lot. But if you are looking for more affordable options, PAC has great lashes, then Pro Art has amazing lashes, and there's so many indie brands that are doing amazing lashes like Hina, then we have Rene, then we have Islay. There's so many brands that are doing lashes these days, so you can definitely choose from a large variety present out there. Now I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Lash Glue, which is black, and I know it sounds very intimidating. I was too when I started wearing lashes, and I think I have a video which dates back to a couple of years, and I said I like clear glues because even if I mess up, then they won't be able to see, but they're seen. Trust me, they're seen. So what I like to do is when I'm using the tube, I like to squeeze out a little bit, and then I like to apply it on my lashes. This just gives me a complete control of how much you want to apply on your lashes. If you squeeze out right here, you might squeeze out a little too much, a little too less, and then you don't have any control. So you just want to have that control beforehand, and then you want to let it dry a little bit, say about 30 seconds or so. So you can probably watch an Instagram video or something, or you can just fan it if you just want to kill time. You don't want to apply a lash glue when it's too wet because it just does not hold its place, and then the lash glue goes everywhere. So you want it to be slightly tacky and then apply it. It's more pliable, it sticks wherever you want it to stick, and it stays put throughout the day. Now what I personally do for my lashes is that I look down like this and I put it from the top like that, just so that I exactly know where I want my lashes to be placed. And once they're slightly placed, I adjust the ends. I first adjust my outer corner and then I just adjust my inner corner, just so that I have complete control, and I just hold them down if they're not completely stuck. And once they're completely stuck, you're just done. Do you see how this instantly elevates your look and takes it to the next level? Now the only thing you want to keep in mind while doing this is to place it as close as you can to your natural lash line, so it doesn't look like you have another set of lashes growing from your eyes. Now no matter how much you want or I want or anyone else wants this, but there is no cheat sheet to this, guys. You have to practice it to get to a stage where you can easily apply lashes. For me personally, I'm at that stage where applying lashes is easier than trying to make mascara look good on me, so I just pop on lashes with everything. Okay, so the eyes are done, and now it's time for lips. I don't think I need to teach you how to apply lipstick because I think all of the girls learn that from their mom's tummy, but I'm still gonna do that. So I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal Rouge Signature today. I think these are great for beginners because they're easier to apply. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a cross on my cupid's bow like this. This just helps in defining it. I'm just following the natural shape of my lip. I'm not overlining. And then I'm just gonna go like that and that on my lower lip and fill in with this color. Now is a good time to just take a step back, use a magnifying mirror and see if your makeup needs fixing from any place. If it does, quickly do that and you are ready. Alright, with that we finished this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, then don't forget to comment and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. If you would like to see more such beginners tutorials or just techniques or just tutorials in general or whatever, apps or freaking newly whatever in this world, then comment down below and let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.